Hey guys, Michael Granados here from Remove Back Pain. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to relieve a herniated disc naturally. Um, if you haven't met me yet, if we haven't talked, I'm somebody who's had a herniated disc himself. I had one in my lower back, and I had a lot of problems with this when I had it. Um, at a time when I was playing soccer as a Division I athlete, I had hurt myself. And after that, I made it worse because I didn't know exactly what it was I had until I went in and checked, and later found out I had a herniated disc. And over the time, I thought I was able to relieve it just by taking medications, muscle relaxers, and just going about my day as I would before, just much slower. But the way you have to take care of it doesn't matter the age. I've helped out many people now understand whether it's a juvenile chronic pain, whether it's more of a, you're past your 27s and you're getting up there in age. It doesn't matter. The process is usually, it looks the same. So I'm gonna give you the 10 best ways that you can heal a herniated disc naturally in your back, and if you have one in your neck too, I'm gonna be able to help you with that. This goes underneath the similar concept. So number one, I mean, this is in the most natural way, but when I speak in terms of natural, this will help the process until you move to the next step. So the first one is over-the-counter medications. Not as natural. These are actually, they have chemicals in them. But this is going to, in the beginning phase, when you're just starting out, help you get through until you figure out the more natural ways to go about it. So over-the-counter medications, you have Advil, ibuprofen, naproxen, and I'm reading my list here. I have made an article, a blog post, and I'm going to link to at the very bottom of this description, so make sure you check that out. You can use those work just fine. Number two, you have muscle relaxers. When you think muscle relaxers, you usually think more of a chemical related one, like over the counter ones. And what I think about when I go, instead of doing baclofen and all these other ones that I'm just not going to get too far into because I'll get sidetracked. What I think about muscle relaxers, I think about ones like essential oils. I think about CBD. I think about some supplements that are out there, some creams, and I have recommendations to that in the article if you want to check that out. So muscle relaxers go into there's more alternative solutions to that. Number three, this is a big one, and this will be the biggest, one of the biggest ones, and the number one dietary solution. Now it's always been this, and it's going to be this way for many years to come, and that's a bone broth and collagen diet. You know what it does? I'm going to give you a quick rundown of my bulletins that I have here. It repairs your tissue and it repairs damaged discs. So it's going to help get through the thick, deep tissue fibers that you have. And what it does, without getting too far into inflammation, because inflammation, you have what's called fibrin, it builds up, and over time, that's what really clots all, and that's what really brings in all the inflammation, and it doesn't just doesn't go away. It doesn't detoxify your system. So in a way, it does detoxify your system. You can find it in a powder or a bone broth. It's also found in a liquid form. I would have it at least 1 to 3 times a day, whether it's in a powder or in a bone broth. And how to make it at home, I have this recipe here. You can do it, and you can go about it the same way. What I would do, and I've done this for myself, is get a huge crock pot, fill it up with the ingredients, which I'm gonna get to, and try to maximize it so you can have it for a whole week. A whole week, I know that's a lot, but if you're just serving yourself, then it will work. You can put in there celery, onions, chicken as the main ingredient. I would go the more organic route. Do carrots, and those are some of the ones you can go with. And another way, if you're doing this, in the morning, for lunch, evening, at night. In the mornings, I would recommend going for the powder form. And what I would do is I mix it in with a smoothie. So I do high on antioxidants, and those high antioxidants are like blueberries. Which ones else you have here? I know there was other ones. I didn't want to get into like watermelons, but the other ones you have are also coconut milk, And I would maybe ginger goes well with everything. Um, Turmeric does too, but ginger is higher in antioxidants. So I would go with ginger. Add ginger into the mix of a smoothie. You could do that in the mornings. It's really quick to do. In the afternoon and evenings, you could eat a soup or a stew, bone broth. So once you come home from work, or if you're already home, you can just go ahead with that. Number 4, go with supplements. Supplements like omega 3 and omega 6 fatty acid oils, fish oils. Those are very good for you. I mixed the two of them myself at home. If you've seen my, I have a video on healing foods for back pain. You can go ahead and check that out. I have that there. MSM is one that you can find as an ingredient. Glucosamine and chondroitin. Those are really big. MSM, you usually find these in more. You can find them in creams too. So if you want to supplement with the cream, you can too. I have options for that. And I have the most natural solution for that. Glucosamine and chondroitin, we know how that helps with your joints, gives you more lubrication. Glucosamine repairs. Chondroitin, gives you more structure within those joints, and so it's gonna really help lessen the pain. It's gonna really wipe out the inflammation. Here's a big one, and this is what many people disregard when they have a herniated disc, and I did this when I was dealing with the pain too. Exercising with yoga. Yoga is a big one. Low impact activity exercises, but yoga most importantly. When you have this kind of pain, you're gonna want to do the right kind of yoga. And I talk about that a lot here, and I direct you to the article that works the best. So if you've had a herniated disc for quite some time now, I'll show you the exact one. Usually I say within 2 to 6 months and beyond, if you have a herniated disc, stick with vinyasa therapy, vini yoga therapy, and lessen the other ones around. Number 6, visit a chiropractor. This is in the most natural, but it is a natural solution. They're really going to give you relief that's right away, and it's a short-term relief. Nonetheless, it's a great one. It's a great solution. They know how to pinpoint where your back is hurting the most and how to work around the pain. But is it a long-term solution? If you want to learn how to treat it at home, I have the best ways of going about that, so you're saving more money. And then getting into number 7, get a massage. A massage works well. I like getting massages myself. I used to go to a massage therapist. I still do once in a while. I'll go. My mom gets me out of the door to do that still. But what I do now is I have my own machines at home. I use a massager, handheld one. I have one for a chair that I just sit back and I turn on the machine. It works. So there are other ways you can go about it, and I teach that here. Number 8, an acupuncture. An acupuncture, there are skepticism about that, but I've tried it, and it works. It works for time to time, and it just gives you that sense of relief. But I don't really do it so much anymore. Here's a given one: rethinking your posture. This is not one many people talk about, and this is one many people forget. Is think about how you are interacting in your day, and that's going to help relieve the pain in your back. Because if I could stand straight, if I'm sitting down like I am at this moment in time, and I'm not going to get too far, which I'll talk about ergonomics, but I want to be standing up straight, my neck straight like this, so my neck and my herniated disc is not hurting, and my back is being supported by something of a lumbar chair or of a lumbar seat cushion. So thinking your posture is going to go a long ways. That's one thing you forget. And then, you have abnormalities, which I will not get technically into those terms. So just having to fix that. Go for ergonomics. Okay. This is the biggest one. And this is where, when I first started helping people with back pain, neck pain, what I did myself to get better was, instead of just using creams, that's not really what got me to where I was today. What really helped me were ergonomics. The use where I started, where you don't have to start exactly, but what I did was I started using a seat cushion, and I integrated that with my chair, so I didn't have to buy a new one. I didn't have to worry about spending too much ridiculous money, saving money, and from there on, I built a better posture, and then I started working around my ergonomics. So ergonomics, working in at home, how do you set up the right ergonomics at home? How do you set the right ergonomics in a workplace is very important, and how you go about it. And so I have those two things in this article. So make sure you check that out, because it's going to give you Nowhere else do you find that information that tells you, okay, this is how somebody with experience was able to go through it, and I've been through it, and so this will give you the best perception. And so that's it. And what I want to link to in this actual article too is I have a way to fix it in the long term, because I can just throw you the 10 tips to how to do it, but unless you know how to do it on a day-to-day basis, you're never going to get far. And I know that because I help so many people out in forums, and I give my 2 cents in Facebook, and so many people at the end of the day want to just know how to do it day to day. And so what I created for you guys, because I've experienced this and I've gone through it and I've healed, and I'm cured actually, from the pain of sciatica, from the pain of a herniated disc and so forth, is I've created a guide for you that you can go 24/7, Monday through Sunday, morning to afternoon to evening to night, how to do this 24/7, and how to just follow a step-by-step plan. It's 5 steps, and like just 3 secrets are in there, 3 hidden gems that most people don't know about. Doctors won't teach you. Other medical professionals don't know enough information, because doctors are great. They're just filled with helping the big pharma industry just help you take medication after medication, and they don't really understand how to treat yourself at home like I do. And so I have that in here, and I think you're gonna find a bit of good information. It's tailored to herniated discs, degenerative disc, arthritis, fibromyalgia, thinning disc, bulging disc, and so forth, facet joints. It's got just everything in there, because a lot of them are interconnected, and so I was able to figure that out with my own pain, joint pain, muscle pains, etc. So make sure if you want that, it's gonna be in that article. It's gonna be at the very bottom. It's free. And go ahead and get access to that. There's no catch. Just go ahead and have it. It is on Amazon now, but I want to give this to my audience, and I want to give this to you guys because you guys have taken the time and actually care about treating yourself like I have. So that's it. Thank you, guys.